Hi, this is Pete with wrapmyspyder.com. Today we're really excited to show you one of our newer products, and this is a product that's for the 2020, 2021 and plus Can-Am Spyder RT and RT Limited. And the product that we're going to be featuring today is our new 3D domed real carbon fiber knee panel kit. And the knee panel kit will be placed in this glossy black section that is really prone to scratches on the 2020 plus Can-Am Spyder RT. So it's placed just above the emblem on this black section, and it will sit right in here, and it hugs up against the panel real nicely and just adds just a beautiful look. And this product coincides with many of the other 3D domed real carbon fiber products that we have for this model Can-Am Spyder RT, including our all-new 25-piece dash kit that matches this finish as well, which we have another feature video that we'll be showing to you on our links here. So stay tuned for that video. But for today, we're going to show you our really nice, beautiful knee panel kit. So to get started, just a couple reminders, like in all of our videos, you want to make sure that you're applying this particular product in a controlled environment. So you want to be out of the wind and dust and any blowing debris or dirt that might be in the atmosphere. You want to have the machine nice and clean. Of course, application-wise for temperature, you want to be in preferably 65 degrees or warmer when you do your install to ensure you have good adhesion. So the bike temperature as well as surface temperature you want to make sure is nice and warm. Of course, to get started, as always, we're recommending the 70% rubbing alcohol in paper towel. You're going to thoroughly wipe the application surface, making sure that there's no wax or silicone-based products on this surface area. And this kit installs from the very tip here all the way back to the seat. So you want to make sure that all this surface is thoroughly cleaned. When you think you have it ready, we're recommending you use masking tape to set on the surface, stick it to the surface, pull it up. If you get good resistance as a litmus test here, then you know you're ready to start your application. So prior to your application of this 3D domed real carbon fiber knee panel kit, there's a couple things that we are going to ask you to do. And this is for alignment. First thing you're going to want to do anytime you're putting on a product like this, especially with the 3M acrylic adhesive, is you want to dry set it in place. The reason that you're dry setting it in place is to see how the piece falls on the panel you're installing on, because once you tack it, it's pretty much stuck. So it's almost a one chance thing that we have here with the 3M acrylic adhesive. So once you dry set it to see how fitment is, now for this particular piece, we're asking that you butt it up against this panel, so nice and tight against the panel. You can hear it hit. You don't have to take the knee panels off to do this application. As a matter of fact, you're going to use this panel as your guide for application. So it's probably best to leave it on. So dry set it in place, align it forward and back, keeping it nice and tight on this panel all the way up. So you can see that the curve right here on the pointed part of the knee panel fits perfectly on the glossy part as it rolls over. And that's where you want to align the knee panel. So nice and tight up against this edge. It should fit and run with this curvature here of the body panel. And what we did, hopefully you can see it, is we put a mark with a grease pencil on the plastic part as well as on the kit itself. So you've got two marks, mark on the kit, mark on the surface area. That's for alignment purposes. So once you expose that adhesive, you're going to set it in place. Make sure that your marks align. If your marks align, then you know that you're good forward, and you know you're good all the way to the back as well. So it's important that you keep it nice and tight against the panel. and make sure that it's tight all the way back, and that way it falls right in that edge nicely all the way to the seat. So once you've made your mark, you've dry set it, you know where it's going to be placed. The last thing that you're going to do before you do your application is, if you have a 3M promoter packet in your kit, you're going to just expose a little bit of the tip of it, and we're just asking you to run a little bead of that promoter just along the leading edge here, because that glossy surface is a beautiful surface for this acrylic adhesive to grab to. So adhesion really should never be an issue as long as you have your surface prepped correctly. If you don't prep your surface well enough, then potentially you may have a peeling issue. So to prevent that, just take the time to prep the surface. Surface prep is the key to a successful long-term installation. So don't rush your install. That's when people make mistakes. Okay, so we have our panel, we have our alignment marks. Now what we're recommending you do, flip the panel over and expose the adhesive. Let me make sure you can see this. We're going to peel the tip back and expose, boy, maybe an inch. And you're going to want to make yourself a tab. See the tab right there? Just a little bit of adhesive. This acrylic adhesive is super aggressive, so don't do too much, just a little bit, and I'll show you why. So then you're going to take your panel, dry set it back into place just like you did when you were checking fitment. Make sure that your mark is aligned. Make sure that you're pushed all the way tight to the panel, all the way back from front to back. Make sure it's nice and tight. If you wanted to, you probably could lift the seat if you desire. So we've got it into position. Our marks are where they are. We have a little bit of the adhesive exposed. See our tab right there. So what you're going to do then is tack that nose. Now that is not enough to keep it in place. So depending on what handed you are, since I'm working on the left side of the bike, I'm going to hold the panel with my right hand. If you have a helper, have them hold it back here, maybe like right at the curve, as it curves around, have them hold it. But nonetheless, I'm going to hold it here with it. The nose is tacked now, so that little bit of acrylic adhesive, it's tacked in place. It's not sliding. See, I can't slide it forward or back. It's in place. Now we're going to just slowly bring that adhesive back, pushing the kit down with your thumb. And you could use a microfiber towel as you want, but the whole idea is that you're working your way front to back, holding the panel in place where it belongs. And you can still see alignment-wise on our edge, we're doing good. So you just bring it back a little bit, tacking it down, and you're slowly working your way to the back. Now, you want to not go too far. So we're only working maybe an inch at a time, and that is because we don't want to trap any air bubbles between the panel and the kit itself. We're just working it way back. It cannot move. We're just kind of pushing it down in place. Working our way from the front to back, making sure it's pushed down. You're going to go back over it with some light heat as well. Now when we get this far back, it's anchored enough where it's going to stay in position. And you can see it's down. But again, you want to make sure that it's pushed in and under this panel as you're installing. So again, just kind of pushing and working. Not rocket science. Really, you just have to take your time. If you take your time, watch what you're doing, you'll be fine. Working that back. Again, you want to make sure you keep the kit nice and tight to that panel. We're going to work up and over. Now, this is a little bit of a curve, goes like this. The kit should still fall into place, no problem. I just finessing it so that it's around and under the panel. And like I said, you're going to go back over it with heat. So here I'm just kind of making sure that it's up and under, because we want it inside that edge. You don't want too much of an edge showing. So make sure that it's kind of nice and tight up under the panel. Continue to pull, expose, and set. Again, taking your time, just working it into place. Because of the thickness of this kit, it does make application pretty easy. The vinyl products are a lot more, I don't know, flimsy, I would say, you know, because it's thin. But this having the domed material, it's thick and easy to work with, and pretty much falls into place. And that's why making sure that you have it in place with your marker, this is important, because that's your alignment marker for doing this install. So this is tacked. Beautiful. Looks great. So once you have the kit on like this, what we're recommending is that you take a little bit of light heat and say a microfiber towel, and just warm the surface. Don't kill it. You can use a hair dryer. Like I said, that acrylic adhesive is very, very strong as far as 3M's attachment system is concerned. So you take some warm heat. This is a heat gun. You don't have to use a heat gun. You can use a hair dryer. And basically what this is insurance that you're not going to have an issue. Now this acrylic adhesive likes that glossy surface. So there really should never be any peeling issues taking place, especially here. When we get into the textured surface of the dash kit, in some of our other videos, you have to be a little more careful in making sure that your surface is really, really prepped well, because it's a textured surface. I'm talking about the surface up here when we do the dash kit. So this piece is beautifully anchored. You go along that leading edge, and you should not have any trouble at all. You can see the application. It's not super complicated. You just take your time. We're talking about 12 minutes as we explain the whole thing. So again, if you take your time, just don't rush. Make sure your surface is prepped well in the beginning. You're not going to have any trouble at all. So this is our 3D domed real carbon fiber knee panel kit for the 2020, 2021 and on Can-Am Spyder RT and RT Limited. This is Pete. Again, I'm with wrapmyspyder.com. If you have any questions related to our products for any year or model Can-Am Spyder, feel free to reach out to us. We'll do our best to help you out. You can contact us at sales@wrapmyspyder.com. And we really thank you for watching this video, and hope that you're enjoying the products that we're creating for this new model. And if you have requests, like I said, feel free to send us an email. We'll do our best to help you out. So thanks again for watching. Again, this is Pete with wrapmyspyder.com.